Today, all you have to do is put your baby in a crib with a monitoring device right beside them. You close the door and never think about it again. But for the previous 300,000 years, a child let alone in a cave would face only one outcome: death before morning. There were no crib, no monitoring device, only darkness and the constant call of wild animal. The scent of an infant could attract predator from far away. And throughout all that time, our ancestors faced the same challenge again and again. Human children are among the most vulnerable creatures in nature, and keeping a child alive was one of the greatest challenges. In this video, we are going to explore the challenge of parenthood throughout human history, about family and the hidden feature of our body. Let's begin with the first problem, because the first problem was you. Yeah, you. No, you. A newborn horse can stand and move within just a few hours of birth. A newborn chimpanzee can cling to his mother within the first hour of his life. And a human newborn can even lift its own head. It takes almost an entire year before a human baby can move. It can feed itself. It cannot survive without other people constantly nearby. Among all the primates, human newborns are among the most helpless. And the reason for this is your brain. From the very beginning, the human brain is large, rivaling the brain of the chimpanzee. Imagine being that baby, you would probably come out screaming.
The door, man. Can't make it. The shit's stuck. Out my way, son. Door stuck. Door.
So, evolution made a trade-off. By having human baby born with only 25% of their adult brain volume. For comparison, a newborn chimpanzee is born with about 40% of its adult brain volume. That means the remaining 75% of brain growth happen after birth, or while being completely defenseless. This is not a flaw, this is the deal. And that because you were given the most powerful brain on earth. Oh, no, not you. I'm sorry, not you. Of course, your brain wasn't always that powerful. The private vulnerability at birth. For 300,000 years, mother had been haunted by the same question. Child that cannot speak, cannot move. It couldn't even stay quiet when predators were nearby. In a world filled with animals built to kill, that child could become a danger to the entire community. So, what did they do to protect that child? The answer was quite simple. They didn't do it alone. In 2009, anthropologist Sarah Blackford-Hardy, she published a book titled Mother and Other. She argued that humans are different from other primates. For example, female chimpanzees usually care for their offspring on their own. She carries, feeds, and protects her infant for nearly 5 years. If anyone tries to touch her infant, the mother chimpanzee will react aggressively. Humans are different. We operate through cooperation. Multiple people take part in childbirth and child rearing, not because they work kind, but because it's worth the only way. Without investment of energy and protection, the brain would develop too slowly, and as a result, the child would die.
Stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
And constant infant mortality would slow down population renewal, with the consequence being extinction. So, we survived not because we were strong. We survived because we shared the burden. Studies show the same pattern among the tribe of the Ituri forest in Congo. In some cases, a child may pass through the care of 14 different people in just 8 hours. Mothers sing, soothe, and care for their infant for about 40% of the time. The remaining 60% is provided by other people who may not even be directly related to the child. Some even breastfeed children that are not their own. And there one more finding. Anthropologists studying tribes in Central Africa had reported another interesting finding. Fathers were observed to be in physical contact with their children for nearly 47% of the day. We didn't need the modern world to invent parenting. It had existed for the past 300,000 years of human history. A child was almost never left alone and left on the ground. A child was never left to starve. All of this had a reason behind it. Left on the cold ground, a child would either free or become place. In Italy, a 10,000 years old burial site was discovered containing the remains of an infant. Alongside the remain, archaeology also found a container used to hold the infant. But that baby carrier wasn't just for transport, it was also a survival skill. When a child is held, its heart rate slow and its breathing became more stable. Scientists refer to this as a transport response, a physiological mechanism in infants. When a baby is picked up, it often stops crying and becomes quiet. In a way, a crying baby is a dead child. A quiet infant is far more likely to survive. Now you understand why adults instinctively pick up a crying baby. But one person holding a child is not enough. It also needs to be fed and nourished with milk. One of the oldest methods was breastfeeding for the first 2 to 4 years of life. For a long time, this was the only way to keep a child alive, because in that time there was no food for infants. There was no ability to preserve food.
I don't know, they all kind of look the same.
There was no access to clean water. Mother milk was the only safe source of nutrition for infants. It also gave a child meal protection in a world without medicine. Breastfeeding also have another effect, is suppressed ovulation in the mother. Breastfeeding can reduce a pregnancy for a period of time, and its function also acts as natural birth control. In the Stone Age, having 2 infants at once increased the risk that one or both would not survive. So, what happened when breastfeeding ends? This is the stage of pre-mastication. Adults would pre-chew food before feeding it to the child. This made food easier for the child to consume, but it also transmitting disease. Another key figure in a child care was the grandmother. In 1997, anthropology Kristen Hawk published a study about the hazard of Tanzania. Post-menopausal women were among the most active members of the group. They worked in the field under the open sky. They gathered food and helped raise their grandchildren. This means that mother could have another child sooner, because the previous child was being cared by the grandmother. Hawk proposed the grandmother hypothesis. It suggests that the women who live beyond their reproductive year often take the role of helping raise their grandchildren. So it's not an exaggeration to say that human survival today owes much to grandmother. And finally, this is where we begin to untangle many of the problems modern parents face. For 300,000 years, humans never raised children alone. Child rearing was always a group effort. There was always someone to take the baby from your arm when you were exhausted. In the Stone Age, childcare typically involved at least 5 different persons. But today, that number has dropped to 2 or sometimes even 1. When you're holding a crying baby at 3 a.m., no one comes to help you. No grandmother, no relative. The depression experienced by modern parents are not signs of weakness. It is what happens when you are forced to do everything alone. So, the real thing is, how many people are involved in raising a child and not trying to prove strength through single-hand parenting?